So today we are talking about to get more leads because you need more leads. You see, the problem is no matter how good your services, your product is, your offer is, grand slam offer, no matter how good your customer experience is or all these other metrics, no matter how good it is, if you can't get enough leads, enough people that want to buy, then everything's useless. It's just like a tree that falls in the forest and nobody hears. Like nobody can see your product or your service. So even in Alex Moses or $100 offers, which I just completed, he talks about he didn't elaborate on it, but he said you should get more leads as well. How to say $100 offers. So when you've crafted your offers and everything, even the entrepreneurs that didn't craft the offer, that didn't go about getting the customer experience, a great product or a great service, they still get leads, they still get sales, they still sell, they still make money. But you with the great offers and the great customer experience and everything, you're not making any sales, you're not making any money. And it's hard and very tough sometimes because you're seeing these other guys around good enough making more money. But the solution is getting more leads. You should. That's one of the most important things in business. Even if your sales and even if your customer experience, your product or your services is not that good, as long as you can get the leads, you can still make your product and service better because you don't even know, you can't test or know for sure if your service or product is good if people can't tell you straight, if people don't want to buy it. So you have to get people to buy, to want your stuff. That's where the leads come in. So no matter, depending on your service, depending on your products, you should figure out how to get leads depending on your service, depending on who you advertise. If you're working with car dealers or wherever your service is, like I service dentists and dental clinics, I help them get more customers or not, even though we just do a lot of consulting. As good as our services are, for a long time we didn't get leads, we didn't make sales or appointments. So the first point, the holy grail is to get leads, is to be on appointment, just to be on appointment, then you can sell the prospect on that call, on that appointment. So you need to be getting more appointment even as an agency owner. That's the secret. That's just it. You need to build more appointment. That's one of the 80%. That's like 80% of having an agency. You just need to get more appointments. So like I said, depending on the service that you're offering, you should know how to go about getting your leads. If you're using a lead broker, you can test the leads that the broker provides you. You can use Google Maps, so whatever direction you choose to use, whatever social group that you choose to go and search on, because there are new tech everywhere popping up. And if you just go on Google and search for lead broker or lead technology, you'll find a whole lot of technology to use to source for lead and script leads. So at least you should be sending a minimum of 100, at least a minimum of 100, doing a minimum of 100 outreach a day. 100, that's the minimum. That's what I should be doing. Even if, depending on the leads and depending on the brokers or the type of lead, you should be doing 100. If it's a very good list, if once you built your list, it's a very good list, at least you get a 20% response rate from 100. That's it. So that's the minimum you should do. There's an agency that does like 10,000 outreach, cold email outreach every day. They get like 200 responses and they close like 20% of that. So we just need to get more leads. We need to do more outreach. Minimum of 100. You can do 10,000, 1,000. And if you're thinking about how to send 1,000, 10,000 cold emails a day, you should go buy a domain. Just go and buy a domain, multiple domains, and if you can't go about it, just leave a comment. I'll discuss further on that, how to go about sending cold emails, because it's a better way of sending more outreach every day. 200, you should be closing. It should just be an appointment. That is the goal. So going about the going on the outreach level. So you need personalization and volume. So if you go a text, if you are reaching out to your ID, if you're reaching out to the avatar you want to serve, you should actually put yourself in their shoes. If you get a call or a DM or an email from a random person, obviously you won't pick the call. So you need to personalize fast. You need to that should be the icebreaker. You should personalize the outreach. You should check 10 minutes. We get you and I know we get it every time. That random message from that guy, you know, personalize first. That's what gets you a foot in the door. That's what got me a foot in the door for personalize. Then big fast value, like Alex Moses says, big fast value. Then whatever you should spend a lot of time knowing about your avatar, knowing about the person you want to serve. So giving them something that they need, which is very urgent, whatever person you want to serve. For dentists, I already know what some of their challenges are. If I tell them that, if I give them that, they're like great. So the big fast value, you understand, something that that will overwhelm them, something that they will normally pay for. You provide it for free to them, then they will listen to you, because without those two, they won't trust you. They you even trust nowadays with the about fraud online. So you need to personalize this pride value, because they don't trust us. They don't trust me. When you don't trust me, if I just enter your email and just send you spam. That's it. And for the volumes, for the volume, depending on your niche, who you're serving. If it's a very narrow niche, you should do a whole lot of personalization. If it's CEOs in finance, CEOs of Wall Street, or very just this very narrow niche, you should do a lot of personalization, because you're not going to get away with it. If you're reaching out to Botox clicks around UK or USA, that's not that narrow. Show people that do it, or skincare. Just knowing how narrow your niche is, because if it's up to 10,000 people, should do a lot of personalization. If it's less than 10,000, do a lot of personalization. If it's more than that, you can get away with a little less personalization. But the perfect mix is personalization and volume. That'll gets you more responses. And the method you should use for your approach for your code outreach. There are cold email, cold calls, cold text, DM, whatever. So it's up to you to determine that. You should try and test. You should test a lot of platforms, a lot of ways to reach these guys, to reach your avatar. Some people don't do cold emails. Some people don't do calls. You just have to figure it out by yourself. Nobody can. If someone gives you a blanket means of reaching clients, just know that's not true, because what works for real estate guys may not work for dentists, may not work for gym owners. You understand? So you have to just try a lot of things, try a lot of ways, 100 cold calls, 100 emails, 100 texts, 100 DMs, whatever. Just try everything on 100, and whichever you think gives the best results, you should dive deeper there. So that is it. That's what it is, because you have to try a lot of things before you pick one, before you can actually pick one. Once you pick that method, you can dive deeper, do a whole lot of things. And having an outbound team is what really gives a company value. Having a machine that can spit you leads is so valuable, very valuable. If you check the mergers and acquisition for your industry, just look it up and see the companies that are sold, and see the way they are built, and you understand the importance of having an outbound team, of having a machine that just gets you leads without you showing your face, because that just removes key marriages, and that's one of the things of building your company to sell. If you want to sell your company in the future, you should actually build it to sell it. So on the final notes, knowing how to go about getting your leads, you can use brokers, you can use the tech by yourself. If you have more time than money, you can script leads for yourself. Use whatever tech that's out there, Outscripper, Apollo, Instantly. All of these softwares have already made lists, but the truth about them is most of them are already been people have already tried to sell these guys. So just the best one of the best thing you can do is just hire someone to just script the leads for you if you have money than time. But if you have time, just go and script the leads by yourself. Then once you get your list, depending on how and that's how you determine how to reach them. Get their phone numbers, their emails, send the emails, send the DMs, the personalization. And by the way, when you DM somebody after doing the personalization and the volume, when you reach out to somebody, you should do like a 3% pivot. You shouldn't try to sell them directly on the first outreach. I didn't say this the first time because it's so common, but people don't do this. You shouldn't try to sell somebody on the first contact. It doesn't really make sense. You should try to show them, provide them value for so that they can trust you, and don't try to sell them. Or you can just ask if they know somebody else that can benefit from that service. I actually did all of that. That's why I got some meetings and I got meetings from that because you should, when you provide the value up front, don't sell them, just ask them 3% pivot. If you give them a thing of value first, then you ask if they know somebody that might need your service because you're sure that you can deliver on your end. Then once you've determined how you can the avenue you should do your outreach with, you pick that, you do more volume and you've done your personalization and all, you should follow up more. Because that's the normal thing to do, but people don't do a lot of follow-ups. And I actually did follow up on some of the outreach that we done, some of the prospect that we reached out to, and I actually got some meeting back because they didn't need it then. They were not in the position to use our services then, but now they're in the position to use our services now. So we could have missed out on the prospective clients if we didn't follow up. So follow up is important. Please do follow up. After a month, after 6 weeks, follow up on your leads. They might be in a position they might need your services now. So follow up, outreach, build your company to have an account sales team. That's the key for this video. You need more leads, and if you can get more leads, more sales for you, more money for you and your family, you don't have to worry about